Hello, welcome back to Charging Status. My name's Alex, and today, in person, he's real, look, got Jim.
Hello.
How you doing, Jim?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, that's bad. We're sat in the back of a Kia EV9. Life's good, but a SM&T drive day today.
Yeah, I mean, we've flashed the headlights, but no one's come over yet. So, sorry, a drive day.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was that thing we sometimes do at weekends.
Well, so this car's big enough for it.
It is. Yeah, can have quite the party in here.
Yeah. So yeah, just for some context, I think twice a year that the SMMT do these drive days for car journalists and YouTubers and stuff, and you can drive a load of cars. We've done one in April, May, whenever it was, in somewhere near Milton Keynes. This one is at Thruxton Race Circuit. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
We can't drive around the track today, which is really sad. But there's a handful of good cars around here, and we will get to what we've been driving a bit later in the episode as well.
And we're going to actually take you on board with some of those drives. Just some really sort of quick and dirty little video clips of us in various cars that we're going to take out today. We've got the Ioniq 5N coming up. I think the Cyberster.
Yes.
And who knows, we might even have something else for you.
Right. So what have we been up to? So what have you been up to since we last recorded?
I'll have to look at my calendar actually on my phone because I just don't know what I've been up to. I know I've been ridiculously busy, but I don't think I've had any cars booked in actually because everything's just been way too crazy. I have had the Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy, which is a plug-in hybrid. That's an absolutely brilliant car. The video's live for that over on my channel now. And I've just been, I don't know, just a bit exhausted at the moment. Just pumping out content as much as I can to keep the algorithm churning over. I've got my 50,000 subscribers since we last.
Yeah, well done.
Since we last spoke, so that's good. 100,000. Here we come.
Yeah.
Next week, hopefully.
Next week.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been up to?
The end of 2024 has been very busy for me. So obviously we're in the Kia EV9. This goes back as of recording tomorrow, which I'm quite sad about because this is bloody brilliant. So I've driven this took it to Devon on a family holiday. It was easy. This car got a lot of looks in Devon.
It does get a lot of looks.
I had some explicit word person in a white van just wave and do like random mouth movements at me when I was driving through some village, but anyway, that's that. So but it's very comfy. We took the family out in it as well. Got these nice blinds as well. Yeah,
I'm starting to melt here, so
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's great. The Airbnb we stayed at had an AC charger, so I got a little taste of what AC home charging was like, so it's really nice. Also, I think shortly after we recorded last episode, I had the Hyundai Kona EV. That was great as well.
That's a brilliant car, and I still say, like, for a used EV, it's one of the best things you can do. Obviously, the new Kona's a very different beast to the last one, but one of the best value used EVs you can get, and I always call it the thinking man's EV.
Oh, it's great. And I like how bits and pieces from this car are in that car, bits and pieces from the Genesis cars are in that car as well. So it's really, really good. And then last week, just before this, I had the Tesla Model 3 Highland, the new one. I really, really enjoyed that. I took that on a little road trip to Snowdonia. That was really nice. That was really good.
Did you like it as much as I did?
I really enjoyed it. The only thing whenever I get cars, I always take my girlfriend out in it whenever we go out because she notices things that I don't notice. So she sort of unofficially helps influence the reviews a little bit because she's got quite a good eye for things that are crap.
You should get her to do the reviews, really.
I was thinking that. She doesn't want to do them.
Oh.
No. So, but anyway, the only thing bad I had to say about it is just about her opinion. It feels slightly impersonal. That's the only thing.
Like a bit clinical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, the efficiency is insane. The infotainment's insane. The audio system is just incredible. I mean, there's so many things on it which are just really good.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But
So my review for that is currently, I think it'll be out as you're listening to this.
I know what you mean, because sometimes the things that actually draw you into a car are like the flaws, aren't they? In a weird way.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that little Say It Me because it's a bit shit.
Yeah.
If that's something I can say, and it's not, it's brilliant. But what I mean by that sweeping statement is it's very basic and completely sort of utilitarian, but still somehow bags of fun. And sometimes it's the things that are not so good that actually make a car feel a bit special somehow. I don't know. I might be talking complete and utter waffle, but
yeah, no, I can see that. I can see why people like them because it makes owning the EV just really easy. I know why. That's probably why you got one as well. But just personally for me, it's just a little bit too like a clinical environment. But yeah.
Speaking of small cars that are not completely unrelated to the Say It Me, I'm going to go off piece for a second and give a shout out to Patrick from the Green Strip Show on Twitter, who's just done basically circumnavigated half the globe in his VW E-Up, and he actually dropped by my house last night, and I sat and had a brew with him. Nice chap. He needs lots of support on his Twitter, so go and give him a follow.
Yeah, it's been very interesting watching his journey, driving his little car around Europe, and he's doing something around the UK now. So
yeah.
Fab. That's pretty much the cars I've been driving. I also went to an Omoda event in London a few weeks ago, I believe, and that was a very strange experience because it was full of influencers, an ex-Love Islander, which I didn't really recognise, and yeah, I felt very out of place.
I didn't know you'd been on Love Island.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm so famous.
I think if we go over to Turkey and get our teeth done and get a nice tan or something, we could be on the next series for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Life goals.
Yeah. That was very strange, but that was like the UK debut of the Omoda E5 and the 5. I'll be driving one of them pretty soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Whilst we're sitting here in the back of this Kia EV9, giving you this audio gold and video gold, I'm going to invite you to follow the show, subscribe to the show, and review the show. If you're on YouTube or something, then leave us a comment, say something nice, please, even if you don't mean it. And again, if you're listening to this on whatever your favourite podcast app is, please just give us a follow and like it. We're really trying to grow this show. It's incredibly difficult to grow an automotive podcast in 2024 because there are a billion of them, and some of the people doing them are a bit more famous than us.
Yeah.
So yeah, please give the show some love. We really do appreciate it.
Do you want the aircon on?
Yeah.
So we've got a few news items to get through in this episode. The first one is the brand new Kia EV6, and this one's had a bit of a facelift. You've driven the current EV6, I believe. I haven't actually driven one of those.
Yes, I've had the standard one and the GT, and brilliant. They're just brilliant cars. Nothing really to say against the EV6.
Yeah, and this new one had a bit of a midlife facelift. It's got a bit of a spec bump as well. So we do have larger batteries now as standard. We've gone from 77.4 kilowatt hours to 84 kilowatt hours. That's similar to the Ioniq 5N as well. A little bit more expensive. It's 300 quid more expensive than usual, than it used to be, sorry. And we have got faster DC speeds now as well. So we've gone from 239 to 258 kilowatts.
I think in reality, though, it's actually dropped in price when you think about it. I know you have to pay more to get one, so that's a stupid statement. But you're getting 10 kilowatts more battery. I mean, that's bloody expensive.
It is.
Well, not 10, but 7. That's expensive. And the faster DC charging speeds, it looks good. I think that's what midlife facelifts should be about in EVs, really, is giving you a bit more range, a bit faster charging speed if at all possible for those times when you do need to go out and fast charge. I'm sure a lot of people listening to this and watching this have got an electric car and never use a public charger like myself, but when you do, if you can do it in 15 minutes rather than half an hour, then yeah, great.
Massive difference. The GT one hasn't been refreshed yet, but I believe it's supposed to be at some point. So that's all good.
Yeah, and I think that's going to follow the Ioniq 5N, so I think it will probably have the fake gears, I'm going to call them, and like the drift mode, etc. I think the current EV6 has got drift mode.
Ah.
The current EV6 GT I think has got drift mode,
Yeah,
but not the gears.
The EV60 Sport Plus has got the drift mode as well. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cheaper BYD Dolphin trim levels now available, active and boost. Batteries 44.9 kilowatt hours in both models, 211 miles for active, 192 miles for boost, and active's got a 94 brake horsepower motor. Heat pumps as standard, which is good, 26 grand, from 26 grand. So that looks like a fair amount of car for 26 grand in 2024, doesn't it?
Yeah, I remember when there was a drive day that we attended on different days back in April, I think, and BYD mentioned there's going to be some entry-level versions coming, but it seemed like they've taken a while to get going. But what they essentially are is a version with the same specs, but a slower motor and a smaller battery, and then the bigger one has the same engine, same battery and motor as the design trim. So it's going to be quite fast, really. So.
And we've just been speaking to BYD here, and I'm going to the Paris Motor Show in, I don't know, a month's time. Nice. Not even that now, 3 weeks, I think. And there's going to be a big new BYD model launched there. That is an all-electric model, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And yeah, that's coming. They haven't announced what it is yet, but we've got a fairly good idea, haven't we? So I'll be covering that over on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that, go and subscribe now and say nice things.
Yeah. Genesis G80 electric. The UK market for Genesis seems to be a little bit behind South Korea and the US for various reasons. But there is supposed to be a brand new G80 coming in 2025. So this one it's a bit longer than the old one. It's also got a much larger battery than before. So we've gone from 87 kilowatt hours, which itself is also massive.
Yeah.
We've now gone to 94.5 kilowatt hours. The range for WLTP has not been confirmed yet because they don't really know. But this is basically a brand new car. The Genesis G80 itself has been refreshed in the US already, and it just looks like a modern car.
It's got those headlights that go down the side as well, isn't it?
Yes.
And yeah.
It's got the big screens as well, like this Kia, 27-inch screen. The steering wheel's been redesigned. It all looks really, really fancy. So that's going to be.
Obviously, they get the G90 over there as well, don't they? That's a glorious car. I sat in one of those last year, and that's a very special thing.
Insane.
But it is a land barge, and it's a car that's clearly more suited to the US market than to this one. But I mean, once again, we've spoken about Genesis enough probably before, but we're fans.
Yeah.
Big fans.
Yeah. And then Instavolt. Public charging is just insanely expensive. And to compete with Tesla a little bit, the other charging point operators have got to change what they're doing, basically. And Instavolt are now, they are currently one of the most expensive charging operators in the UK. And they've now lowered their prices from 85p a kilowatt hour to 54p a kilowatt hour. But crucially, at peak times. So if you haven't got a home charger, this is quite a good option for you, potentially. So between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., the price has now got a lot cheaper, but it still is quite expensive. So
yeah, they're so expensive, Instavolt, and they tend to cram the chargers in as well. I mean, there's one around the corner from me at home, and it's just insane how tight the spaces are, and they're completely impossible for anyone with any kind of mobility issues to use.
Yeah.
And I think their rates are ridiculous. So yeah, they need to start doing stuff like this, and probably need to start doing a bit more of it, because I feel like their proposition's not the best at the moment.
No, and I think I mentioned this before. Wherever I can, I try and use the Tesla chargers that are open to everyone, because it pains me to spend more than petrol on charging. So
we're probably at this point going to cut to us driving something, so go and watch that.
Yep.
So we've got a very special little segment of the podcast here for you, which Alex may have already introduced, but we're currently in the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. We're at an SMMT drive day, so we're going to do a couple of these little clips for you at this drive day, just to make the podcast slightly more interesting than just us two droning as we usually do. So I've already taken one of these around the track at Millbrook a couple of times. We're at Thruxton today, but frustratingly, we're looking over at this racetrack and we're not allowed to use it.
It's very tempting.
Yeah, I've just taken the Maserati Gran Turismo out, which is my absolute dream car. It didn't disappoint. It's not electric, sorry folks. But we're now in the Ioniq 5N, and this is the car that could convert many a petrol head. Now at the moment, Alex is driving, so I am taking my life into my own hands. But it feels amazingly normal right now, doesn't it?
Apart from the bongs, there we go. Yep, so far it feels relatively normal.
It just feels like an Ioniq 5. However, when we press the angry button in this car, it's going to become extremely angry and extremely engaging. For those of you that don't know, this car's got this sort of faux gearbox, which a lot of people think is really naff and a gimmick, and actually it makes an electric car completely engaging, and this will appeal to driving enthusiasts. People that think a BMW M3 is the way to go will love this car.
There we go. Sorry for the audio listeners. Just us faffing around.
Comes out outside as well.
Sounds like a tractor.
I'm going to just leave the window open for a minute. Right, so we're going to go up here and turn left, and then you're going to press the squirt button a little bit.
Ooh.
And use the paddles for the gears.
Wow, bloody hell.
Turn that off. That's
incredible.
There are different engine sounds you can get, and they're very different from one another. I don't know which one we're in, but we'll just stay in it. So we've only got the car for like...
Jeez, it's actually giving you like a gear shift sort of...
It feels completely like a gearbox, doesn't it?
Wow, okay.
This is not the road I was expecting us to come onto. Never mind. Yeah, there's it has got like... There are several variations of the sounds and the...
There you go. N Active Sound Plus, is that it?
Yeah, N Active Sound Plus.
There we go.
So this is Evolution. Supersonic. So it sounds like a fighter jet.
Yeah, that one sounds the best in my opinion. Ignition, yeah. I don't know how well this is coming across on the podcast. I guess apologies.
Right, we'll put the exterior speakers on as well.
High performance sound effects. Look at that.
You hear them?
Oh God, yeah.
Up and crackling. So put the exterior speakers on as well.
So everyone else can hear it.
Sorry if you're listening to this rather than watching it, but the audio may have just got a bit wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
We're going through like a fjord at the moment.
Going through a lake. Yeah, you might think that, I don't know, you might think that buying an EV, you want to be really quiet, but this sort of, it really does sort of tickle the inner sort of chav inside you.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, you feel like you need to be fitted with an ankle tag when you get out of it, because it's just so...
I don't know, I love EVs, but I've still got a soft spot for my little up.
Yeah, totally.
And this sort of does that. It's sort of... And also you can take away, well, again the gears aren't real, but you can pull away in third.
But you really get the most out of this car on a track. I mean,
I'm not surprised, yeah.
It's just unbelievable, the performance on a track.
Isn't this the car that made Tom Sherrock throw up? Was that a Suzuki Swift?
Well, it made him go white, and he was on the verge of throwing up for about 50 minutes, I think. It was very, very unwell.
It's actually my first time driving an Ioniq 5, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what an entrance into one, but...
God, it's almost like there's been a little tiny person in here.
Right, Jim's having a go now, for those audio listeners.
Unfortunately, we've got the dual carriageway rather than the most amazing A road I've probably ever been on. It's just crazy how Forget about the sounds or anything, but how it just feels like a gearbox.
It's mental.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a pretend gearbox. It feels completely like a gearbox.
I don't know how they've done that.
It's amazing engineering.
And I think the new Genesis Magma is supposed to have this sort of tech as well, I believe. Did the EV6 GT have this sort of feature or not?
No.
No.
But I think the new version of it's going to.
Yeah.
And of course, this car's also got drift mode. So if you want to get really squiffy and drive like someone very, very antisocial, I'm not going to use a slur like Alex, but if you want to be completely antisocial and get really squiffy in the car, this will do it.
I'm not sure if I've noticed that. It says on the dash, usually in performance cars, you get an oil temp, and this has got a battery temp.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how, I guess.
Because if it gets too hot, it'll actually throttle the power. Right, so now...
Well, the bike's going
How's that?
Speechless. That's impressive.
That really is
absolutely
phenomenal, isn't it? What a piece of kit. Folks, if you're... The only thing that's stopped you moving to electric is not having that kind of engagement and that perhaps sort of enthusiast driving kind of thing going on. We know electric cars can do 0 to 60 in a ridiculously fast time, some of them, but a lot of people miss the visceral nature of engaging with a car. This does it.
Yeah, it really does.
It really does feel like a game changer to me. And I've got one of these in a week or two, and I'm going to be making a few videos with it. So head on to the channel if you'd like to see more of this car. So I think there's a lot more to come. Right,
back to the podcast.
Indeed. Alex.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed that, everyone.
Yeah.
I've done something else that I've forgotten to tell you about, and I've forgotten to tell the good people about. I've got a new charger at home.
Oh.
So I did have an Easy One charger, and it died about a month ago.
Oh no.
And it was some overheat thing, and their support is a bit pants. So luckily there's a really good Facebook group for Easy users, and I went on there and just posted, I've got this coming up, any ideas anyone? And about 1 million people responded with, you need a new backplate, and it happens on all of them, and blah blah blah, and they need to send you an uprated backplate. So I tried to get through to Easy, and it wasn't very easy, because when you go through to the customer support thing and say that you're an end user, it just sends you into sort of a black hole and says like, good luck with that, pal, almost. You send us an email and we'll get back to you in 5 days. Well, that's not great if you can't charge your car. So I actually went through and chose the option of I'm an installer. I then managed to speak to someone who was really helpful, and they said, we'll send you out. I had to do a couple of things, take a load of pictures. I had to take the front off and send them pictures of the wiring, etc., of the terminals. All a bit more of a faff than I would have liked, to be fair, but in the end they said, fine, we'll send you out a new backplate, but then you need to get an installer in to replace it. And I thought, this is not that fun. Anyway, I replaced it myself. At the end of the day, it's live, neutral and earth. All the cabling's already there. The hard bit's been done. So I was a bit careful and I did the job myself. But it made me think, is this the time to perhaps think about getting something else? Because I have all these different cars coming in for review, and maybe something that integrates a bit more seamlessly with my Octopus tariff, etc. So I contacted OMI, and they were kind enough to come and swap it over for me. And I've had that for about 2 or 3 days now. I've got a tethered one, where I had untethered previously.
Okay.
That I was really on the fence about which way to go with that, but I thought, no, actually I'm just going to go for a tethered one. The app's really good. It seems really good so far. I think they start at 950 quid installed, supplied and installed, which I don't think is too bad. And
No.
I'm actually going to do a video soon on how quickly that charger will pay for itself versus having a petrol car.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I hope that's interesting. I'll try and make it interesting. I don't always succeed in that respect, but I always try. But yeah, so far so good. But there you go, some electric vehicle news from me.
Nice. Yeah, I did a video the other day looking at the prices of Tesla charging for owners versus the membership versus the guest. Because while I had the Model 3, I was like, I need to do this sort of video because it's I find it impossible to find out how much Tesla owners pay unless you've got a Tesla. And it turns out the prices that Tesla owners pay is the same price as the membership.
Yeah.
Because some people think, oh, they're cheaper for Tesla.
Yeah, that's the point of having the membership, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
And it's dynamic pricing, I think. So it varies at different times of the day.
It does.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So I parked up at one of the motorway services and compared the prices on the guest profile, the membership profile, and yeah, I thought it'd be a little interesting video because I couldn't find anything about it. So.
Good. Nice.
You did a video the other day, it was actually yesterday I think, was a recording, on the paper mile stuff.
Yeah.
Now, from far as I can understand, there's nothing concrete on that.
No, not at all. No, it's complete
theory.
Sort of rumour and innuendo at the moment. But it's come round lots of times, and this time it's come round strongly. And obviously Keir Starmer has said the October budget's coming and it's going to be lots of doom and gloom, essentially. I don't know, I think paper mile will happen at some point, but any way I can think of doing paper mile at the moment looks very, very open to abuse. And it looks like, any way I look at it, from a purely business standpoint, I think the cost of administering the scheme will be so huge, especially when you've got a government running it, because they know how to squander public money, all of them, regardless of the party. Public money is never spent wisely. So I think it would have to be such a huge charge just to cover the costs of administering everything, and then for the government to actually take any revenue from it, it would be insanity. I think if it did happen at the moment, it would be very, very bad news for everyone. Now, obviously they're now at the point where quite a lot of people have got into EVs. They're not earning so much money from fuel duty and VAT on petrol and diesel, and obviously vehicle excise duty on EVs has been nothing. That's going to change, but I think they want to plug that gap. But in doing that, I think they need to be mindful that they still need to give incentives for people to make the switch, because a lot of people are making the switch on purely financial grounds at the moment. So it makes a lot of sense to pay 20 quid a month to charge your car than more than 200 quid a month to put petrol in your car.
Yeah.
And I think if the government's saying you've all got to switch over to EVs and then taking away that financial incentive to do it, that would be bad news. So I think what they'll probably end up doing, if something like this does come in, I think it will just go on top of what's already there.
Yeah.
That's my gut feeling. But I think more likely is they'll put a lot more tax, road tax, if you like. It's not called that, but we'll say road tax onto EVs, and then put a lot on fuel duty, like maybe another 10 or 15p on fuel duty. And I think paper mile will come, but I don't. The more and more I think about it, and after reading a lot of the comments in the video, it does seem more common sense to perhaps push that further down the line and just charge more on fuel duty and make EV owners pay more in terms of road tax. But I mean, none of us know what's going to happen. There's this big rumour going around that they're going to make it 15p a mile.
Which you made a video about, your video, you had a spreadsheet going over how much that would cost for people with average mileage, and oh my God, like...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I do 10,000 miles a year personally.
Yeah.
And that'd be like $2,000, I think.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. I mean, if they took fuel duty away and charged you 15p a mile, then, and you were driving a petrol car, then actually that might not be so ridiculous, but I don't think they will. I think it'll be on top.
Practical.
I think it's going to be beat you with a stick. I mean, one of the things people say is, Well, it's quite easy. Look at your mileage, and then when you take the car in for MOT, you've done 10,000 miles, and then you pay your tax there. Well, that's all well and good, but clocking cars is enough of a problem in this country already. I mean, everyone would do it. Everyone would do it.
Yeah.
You can clock a car in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and if there are restrictions, people always find a way around things. Always. Like, so, yeah, I'm not really sure.
Especially when they feel like they're being kind of hard done by.
Yes.
But the budget next month is going to be very, very interesting. The thing that I think is notable is how none of the politicians will... I haven't heard anyone in government, when asked the question, is pay per mile taxation coming in, say no. What they tend to do is answer a different question, which is obviously the politicians' way of doing everything.
Yeah.
Say to the politicians, our taxes going up, so we provide a wonderful service to the public. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and perhaps leave your thoughts in the comments about how you think it's going to happen. So there is going to be this 35 billion gap in the public purse when fuel duty and traditional road tax disappears. So how do you think the government are going to plug it?
We've got some stuff we've been working on until the next time we record, basically. So in the next few months, I've got Mercedes EV2. I think that's next week, I think. So the brand new EV2 panel van, I believe.
Yeah.
That'd be quite good. Be quite good fun. I like testing vans, so yeah. That'd be quite good fun. I'm not sure if we're both going to this, but it's fully charged. Well, the Everything Electric show, is in October. I'm not sure if we're both going to that, but that's been...
I'll be going to that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I should be going as well. That'd be quite good fun. Get to see all the new cars. I think the Hyundai Ioniq is going to be there in person.
Oh, cool.
So that'd be quite good fun. I've just written a piece on my website about why the Hyundai Ioniq could be one of the most important new small EVs, and just because of how good, it's a little bit biased, but how good the Hyundai EVs are, it's really promising at that price point and how efficient it's going to be as well. I mentioned the Imoda press day. I've also got the Subaru Solterra coming up as well. Again, this is all before we next record, so we're to talk about this next time. It's a electric car. It's like a Toyota rebranded. Don't know if you've tested that before.
I have.
You have. And then at the very end of October, I've actually got the brand new. It's a midlife refresh kind of, like the Pro Plus Aura 03. I've got that for 3 months.
3 months?
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm going to be doing a bit in that. I'm going to go to Scotland in that and see how good it is on road trips. So
amazing.
Yeah. So I've got that from October till January. So
that's incredible.
Yeah. So it'd be quite good. So we'll get to see how that is dealt with in day-to-day life. So
yeah,
because there's not enough of them on the road, and they're quite good. So
yeah, one of my mates has just got the what is it, the Pure now, there's
the entry-level Pure, and then the Pro is...
and he's had that for a little while. He's just had a massive problem with the key, and the dealership, which is in Exeter, have been absolutely atrocious with it. So hopefully when you do have after sales problems with the Aura folks, you'll get better service than he did.
Yeah. What stuff have you got coming up on your channel?
I'll have to take to my phone because I don't know what day it is. So next month I've got the Ioniq 5N for a week, and I've got the new Prius for a week. So that's a plug-in hybrid. I'm actually really looking forward to that because I think it's the first time ever I've seen a Prius that's made me think, what a nice looking car.
I didn't think they were going to sell it here.
They weren't.
They are now?
They did a U-turn because there was so much demand for it.
Oh, really?
And I always thought it was insanity that they weren't going to sell it here. I mean, every taxi will be a Prius, I'm sure, and Ubers and what have you. And then I think towards the end of the month, we'll start next month, I've got the Mini Cooper S, but that's the petrol. I did go to the launch of the electric version. There's a video of that already on my channel. And then I've got the Paris Motor Show in October. Really looking forward to that. There's going to be some probably big launches there. I think we're going to see the electric Mini Cooper John Cooper Works. So that'll be the full performance.
That was leaked actually by the Chinese government.
Yeah, and I think the Renault 19 or Renault 17.
Renault 4?
Maybe. There's I think.
Oh.
I think there might be Renault 4, but there's also a concept, which I think is going to be the 17 or 19.
Fair play.
But that looks really cool. And I don't actually know too much of what's coming yet, because these things tend to get sort of put out in dribs and drabs, and usually the week before you tend to get more of a feel for what's actually going to be there. But I'm really looking forward to that. So hopefully I can make some kind of content, interesting video with that. It's difficult. I always use my bun fight line, don't I, at these things?
Yes.
But when you go to a car show, it's so difficult to get footage, because if there's anything that people are looking forward to, it's like flies on dog poo, and getting clean shots of everything's difficult. So I'll probably do it sort of guerrilla style and as unprofessionally as I can, because people seem to enjoy it that way.
They look good actually. They used the DJI Pocket 3 last time, and I thought the footage looked really good. So I think was that the Geneva show?
Yeah. That was the first one where I've gone.
It looked good.
Sort of guerrilla style with, and people seem to enjoy it. I think
it's more authentic. I think.
Yeah, no, probably the big channels are doing the big professional kind of TV presentation type thing. So I've seen something a bit different.
Yes.
Sometimes different works better than better does, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Sorry if the audio's gone a bit weird. It's currently awful weather, and we've left the car on, and the wipers have gone berserk. So.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for this episode. A bit of a short one.
If you'd like to sponsor this podcast, by the way, speak to Alex.
Yeah, Greg's would be a good one. So
that would be good. Or Hair Club for Men.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Manscaped. Everyone gets Manscaped, don't they?
Yeah, it'd be quite good actually.
Yeah. What else is there?
Squarespace.
Yeah.
There used to be Casper mattresses as well back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe like Beer 52 or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be quite good.
Yeah. We're happy with any of those, folks.
Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Bit of a different style one. We're in person for the first time. Also,
it's really raining now.
It's horrible, isn't it? I might stay in here. We got some little bits of footage in the episode as well of us driving some cars. Hopefully it's come out okay. We shall see. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Charging Status Podcast. You can find us in video on YouTube and in audio wherever you get your podcasts. For a full description of this show, visit the episode link in the show notes. Thanks again, Jim, for joining me. And where can they find you online?
You can go to my website, notaguru.co.uk, or you can go to my YouTube channel, which is definitely Not a Guru, which they've written in very large letters on my little ID thing.
Lovely
here.
stuff. You can find news and reviews about all sorts of different things on theinterface.uk. Car reviews on the Interface Cars, and then if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be some other podcasts as well. There is something for everyone, really. So again, thank you so much for watching, and let us know how we did.
See you soon.